you mentioned on your website, Cinema Sciences, you should check it out, cinemasciences.com. But you said that Larry Cohen taught me the art of the snake.
Right.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So Larry Cohen was famous for, and God told me he did an entire sequence with all his principal actors in the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, wait, the name of the movie is God Told Me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, wait, what? God told me that he was...
You didn't see the bush you brought in here? He carries it with him.
I was like, oh, it's going to be this kind of podcast. Okay.
And that's like the classic Larry Cohen movie. But so suddenly he's got all his principal actors and, handheld cameramen in the middle of the St. Patrick's Day parade. No permits, no nothing. And it's just an incredible electric experience. And even Q, his, the famous winged monster movie, he's shooting in the Chrysler building. He sort of had permission, but he didn't have permission to shoot machine guns up there.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on a second. Let's slow that one down a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Wait, what?
Chrysler building and machine guns?
Yeah, so they're shooting down Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent that lives in the top of the Chrysler building. And this is a famous horror movie, so you should all see it. And so they're shooting blanks up there, and it's the top of the Chrysler building, which is fine. They're blanks, but the shell casings are like falling on this street, 90 floors below, and people are calling the cops and whatever. And it's just, and so of course it takes a long time for the cops to get up there. So they're just keep shooting. And that's happened to me so many fucking times. Can we curse?
I love like the cop. Oh, you can curse all you
fucking
want.
curse. Please, Chris. Please don't fucking curse.
Get your fucking shit together for once in your
Get
life.
to fucking together.
That's another thing on every film shoot. That's every other word, people.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, fuck, yeah.
For good reasons and bad. No, but like, I love the image of like the cops running up, like going up one elevator, and you guys, as soon as like dings, your elevator starts going down with all your machine guns. Like, what the hell?
keep shooting.
So that made so much sense to me. It became second nature because, you're not really hurting anyone when you're doing your film, and so getting permits in New York in the 80s, yeah, you could do it, but, I did a film called Blue Vengeance, which was just restored by Vinegar Syndrome.
Vinegar Syndrome.
I think everybody would enjoy that, and that's we have a foot chase through the subway system. Yeah, no, that's just a sound guy, me chasing a guy, and the cameraman. No permits, no nothing. Now, we were smart enough not to have like a fake gun, but we're still chasing people. And it's New York in the 80s, so like the people are a little freaked out, but not that much. It was pretty much a commonplace occurrence. And then we have a chase and fight scene across the Brooklyn Bridge. And you probably could have permitted that, but the insurance and the rigmarole and the, locking the street off and the, getting the cops to do that. And of course, once you're actually you get a film permit in New York, the Teamsters are looking at that and, oh, well, we're going to go down. Back then it was very hardcore. So you really had to sneak around. So that just became, we figured we would just always do that.
Why would you say that elaborate a little bit about the Teamster thing? That it was a little, if you can.
We might have to beat it all out.
My Teamster brothers, who there's a local here that we all love, were very hardcore back in the day trying to shut down indie films. So, and back in the day, we would shoot on something called film, everybody, and you would have to rent film cameras from, one of the rental houses, and, it'd be like, okay, we'll give you a deal, but you got to show up after 5 because, when the teams are left. So it was sort of a struggle and sort of kind of fun to sneak around like that.
That'd be a fun movie. That's a fun movie idea, actually. Yeah. Like it's like a gangster movie, heist movie or something, but really you're just a film crew trying to avoid the Teamsters. And the Teamsters are all like these huge Italian dudes with like semis.
Well, they did have ways of sometimes they were kind of brutal, but usually they would just go to film sets with air horns and stuff like that, and reflectors and things like that. So there are a lot of ways to disrupt a film set.
Why did they feel the need to, I guess, disrupt films at that point?
Because at that point, indie films couldn't afford a Teamster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or multiple Teamsters like you have on bigger sets now. You just couldn't afford it. So, like I can get, back in the day, you could get a PA for $50 to drive a van, or you could get a Teamster for $1,500 too. So what are you going to do?
Oh, so yeah, you're kind of in a way taking them out of a job.
Right. So, but hopefully that's all been worked out. My brother's the Teamsters. So, yeah, but back then, the struggle was real back in the day. You were shooting on film, you're dealing with Teamsters and things like that, and then the bureaucracy of the city. You would have to have the film cops, on anything that you were on the street. So, if you just wanted to shoot something, why not go out and shoot it? And if a cop showed up, you would say what you always said: "Oh, it's just a student film."
Yeah.
And as you get older and older, you get the PA to see that.
Go talk to the cop. Go.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Like the youngest looking dude you would send out there. It's like, yeah, I'm in NYU and we're doing a student film. And invariably it'd be like, okay, that's cool.
It's a student film about my grandpa.
Yeah. Is that what it is when you're hiring them? Can you just read this for me? And like, it's a student film and...
You're hired.
Yeah, and they're like, perfect. And
they were always into it too. I mean,
Yeah.
because you're just trying to make your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that part of the I guess the excitement for you in making movies is like that I don't know, that component of like breaking the rules, of like going against the norm?
That's an excellent question. I think that's definitely part of it.
Okay.
And it's creativity in a production sense, where you have creativity in the artistic sense. You really have to, when you're making your film, you really got to, this is your shot. You've got to do whatever it takes, which is the famous Spike Lee quote, but that's so true. Whatever it takes to do your film.
That's also the Shitty Rigs mantra.
Yeah.
Kind of. Whatever it takes.
To get the shot. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
No, but it's really true. And that's, yeah. I mean, I think there was a bit of, I think we did sort of enjoy breaking the rules.
Was there any like repercussions for stuff like that? If you saw like that shot of the machine gun on the Christ building, did the New York City reach out and be like, wait a minute?
Well, I wasn't on that film, but that's the classic Larry Cohen story. But yes and no. I mean, it was a lot. Honestly, pre 9/11, the city was so much easier to shoot in. There was a lot less tension, a lot less police surveillance and, breaking balls and stuff like that. You could pretty much do stuff like that. Now it's a lot tougher.
Yes, it's hard to get away with something like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, all the indie films did that, and we just maybe pushed it a little to the extreme.
Yeah. Did you ever get caught or in trouble for any of those things?
Well, on Blue Vengeance, on the subway thing, we did actually have a transit cop come up. So we kept hopping on trains. We started at Canal Street, and we'd go up, and then we'd come back, and so finally a really burly, mean transit cop comes up to, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're like, it's him. And like, he's not buying it at all. It's like, where's your permit? And John Wiener, who was the writer and the co-producer and also the co-star in it with me.
See, everyone has 5 jobs.
walks up to him and I'm like, we can deal with this. And the guy goes, who told you could shoot here? And the most brilliant thing I've ever heard in my life, he just said, Kenneth. Swear. And the dude who's like a sergeant or something goes, oh, okay, Kenneth said that. All right. And left us alone. Swear to God. It's all he said was Kenneth.
What the fuck are the odds that you could just come up with a name and be like, oh, thank God, Kenneth?
Well, John Wiener, who just finished a film in L.A. and is a writer-director and one of the people that was one of my best collaborators in the early days. That's just, he just was brilliant like that. The guy wanted to hear something, so he said it.
He probably had the confidence in that delivery too. Of just Kenneth,
Kenneth.
You haven't talked to Kenneth? What are you doing here?